It's raining where I am. It's raining in California. It is a rainy, rainy, rainy day here. Happy Valentine's Day. Are we on? Yeah, we're on. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to be talking about it. Why not? I hope everybody is doing fantastic. It's our last. What's up, Karen? You're first. Good job. You are consistent. What's up, statutory greetings? Happy Valentine's Day. Karen is statutory. And everybody else who did not say hello yet. Good to see everybody. What's up, Frederick? Hello, Susan. Hello, Rochelle. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, Myra. Happy Valentine's Day, Amos. Good to see ya. Hope all is well in Florida. It's rainy as hell here. It is pouring down. You can probably hear it. What's up, Matthew? What's up, DLJ? Guys, there's a little bit of good news today. Actually, a lot of bit of good news. There's some shitty news, too. There always is. But there's some pretty cool news today that's a little bit breaking. We're going to mix it up, do a little bit of good, then a little bit of bad, then a little bit of all the above. You know. Get my coffee on, Matthew. You know it. What's up, Mystic? Good to see you, buddy. Howdy, howdy, John. What's up, Carrie? It stopped raining in Florida? Well, it started raining here in California. Well, I got some good news for you, Rochelle. Rochelle says, need some good news. Got some for you. Statutory called it. A big win for versus Amazon, excuse me. A big win versus Amazon. Abso-frickin-lutely. That is breaking right now. An article came out about 30 minutes ago. And we are going to be talking about it. New York City looking good on ya. And I can't wait to see ya in June, New York City. Can't wait to frickin' see ya. We're almost at 30. Thought I'd do something a little bit special for Valentine's Day, you know. Joanna, I can't wait to be seen on the East Coast. What town are you coming to? Joanna, sorry. Oh, we're at 30? All right. I get up in the morning, time to get my news. And I need a little help from you, so I say, what's going on? There's so many sources and so many places, so it's best with some familiar faces. So let's all find out what's going on. And I said, hey. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, I said, hey, get your news on with Ron. 4 non-blondes, please don't hold it against me. I see you wearing those punk t-shirts sometimes, like State of Alert on Jimmy Dore Show. I'm trying to hear music like that from you. Well, North Blend, you can grab my album now, and there are a couple songs on it. Only 2. It's a stand-up album, but I do have a few songs on it. So you can get my album, Agnostic Holiday, straight from my website, ronplacone.com, or via iTunes, or via Spotify, or via Pandora. You can get my stuff. But thank you for that, North Blend. I appreciate that. Welcome to Get Your News On with Ron. Thought I'd do something a little special for Valentine's Day. I feel like the 4 non-blondes would appreciate it. You know, they were a politically savvy group, I think. I actually don't really know much about them, but I'm sure they'd be okay with it. What's up, everybody? So let's start out light. It is Thursday. It is Valentine's Day. which is just a, capitalistic grab. Let's be honest. We know that. It's the truth. But nonetheless, love is the only thing I believe in, so I'm okay with a situation to celebrate it and make it my own. That being said, what are everybody's plans for Valentine's Day? I'll go first, and guys, this makes me feel so warm inside knowing that this is the case. I'm going to see a Beatles tribute band tonight. That's what I'm doing for Valentine's Day. Me and my fiance. It was actually her idea. It was her. I know you guys are thinking, wow, Ron, you talking to her. No, it was her idea. My fiance was like, hey, this is going on down the street. It was a Beatles tribute band. And I was like, I'm in. So we went, and we saw, we're going to go see the Beatles tribute band tonight. And then we're just cooking. We're just going to cook. We're doing the vegan thing, so we didn't want to mess with the restaurant. There is a really popular vegan restaurant right in our neighborhood, and my fiance suggested we go there, but we didn't make a reservation. I'm like, look, she's like, well, it's a vegan restaurant. I don't know how busy it'll be. I'm like, babe, I'm sure there's a lot of vegans that live in our neighborhood, and that's probably where all of them are going. And she was like, good point. I didn't think about that. I'm like, yeah. So we decided we're just going to cook. So I'm going to make a nice vegan-friendly pasta dish, and she's going to make some veggies, and, we'll figure out something for... Hey, Lucy. Hi, do you want your yellow vest on? Is that what you're whining for? Like, put my yellow vest on. It's time for a revolution. She just decided she needed attention. She's like, can you redo my contract? Yes, Lucy, we will. So anyway, I'm going to see the Beatles. What are you guys doing? I'm going to see the Beatles tribute band. Not the Beatles. That'd be cool. But not possible. I still got to see. So I obviously I'm not going to be able to see John and George. I missed my opportunity for both of them. If I ever really had it. Well, for John, John died before I was born. But I never got the opportunity for George. And I've seen Ringo. Which, it's fun. Seeing Ringo, it's a fun show. I wouldn't rush out to do it again, but it's fun. So I need to see Paul before Paul retires. I really need to see Paul. My sister's seen Paul. I never have. But I need to see Paul. But tonight, going to a tribute band, going to be fun. Right down the street where I live, so we might be able to walk there. Depends on the rain. It's raining pretty bad right now. If it's still raining, we will not walk there. If it isn't, we might walk. So let's see here. What are you guys doing? Marsha, it is not the Fab Four. It's a different... I think it's a different band. I don't think it's the Fab Four, but maybe it is. Creative experiments. I'm going to start getting my 10-year visa for China and India since the USA is never getting a high-speed rail. Right on. I'm always all about seeing the world. Good rainy morning, Watson. Back at you. It is a rainy morning here. Slow news day. You got to work. That's a bummer. But some good news. First house show of 2019 has been booked for me, and it is April 19th in Boulder Creek, California. So if you're in the Boulder Creek area, email me about attending that show. You can go to ronflacone.com for more information, and email me about attending that house show if you're in Boulder Creek, California. Matthew, what is my favorite Beatles song? Interestingly enough, they both have the word life in them. Either A Day in the Life or In My Life. I think I'm going to go with In My Life. That's my favorite Beatles song. Yeah, I just love that song so much. Yeah, I'm going to go with In My Life. And my least favorite Beatles song, we've talked about this, but my least favorite Beatles song, Name of a Lady, Michelle. I find that song annoying. I just find it annoying. Rick, you're going to see... Oh, awesome, man. Rick, you're coming to see me in Burbank. I will be headlining Flappers February 22nd and 23rd. I will see you there, Rick, and I'm stoked for that. Looking forward to seeing you there. Let's see. Emos reminds me that vegan restaurants are a stone's throw in LA. Yeah, but we just want to do something low-key. We didn't want we kind of just wanted to do something in our neighborhood, and I think there's more than one in our neighborhood, but there's one that's like crazy popular. Let's see, what else are you guys... somebody said they were going to... I lost the comment, but someone said they were going to smoke pot with Kamala and go see the Doors, which is funny. Here's a fun fact, though. In Los Angeles, there is a really, really good Doors tribute band that lives right in Venice, and they do a residency every Sunday. They do a fantastic job. They do a residency every Sunday at the Viper Room in Los Angeles. They're called Peace Frog. They're really, really good. I've seen them a couple times. Karen, I'm really sorry to hear that. Karen says, not doing anything. My husband was killed last year. I'm really sorry to hear that. You have my condolences. Lee says, I was 7 when Lennon was killed. I had felt then how much of an impact it has. Alfonso says, Happiness is a Warm Gun is my favorite. The Breeders covered Happiness is a Warm Gun? I did not know that. Thank you for telling me about this, Alfonso. I got to look this up now. I've never heard the Breeders version of Happiness is a Warm Gun. That is a fantastic song, albeit kind of a very dark, melancholy song considering what happened to John Lennon. But a beautiful song, and I did not know the Breeders did that. I got to look that up. Sagittarius says, Kamala was listening to the Beatles in the 30s. What's up, Josh? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. Hello, failed abortion. How are you? Lucy is loud today. I don't know what she... Hi, there you are. Hi. What do you want to say to everybody? You want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day before we get on to some newsy news? You want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody? I was going to have you say bye at the end, but I guess you didn't want to wait. She's like, nope, now's my time. North Bend, my power violence band did a cover set of The Clash on International Clash Day. We made those songs way better. I'm a big Clash fan, so I don't know how you can make those songs better, but I hope you did them justice. I have heard some brilliant Clash covers, and I'm sure you did a great job. I don't know what power violence is. I don't know what that means. So Lucy says hi. Let's move on to the news. I wish everybody a happy day. I wish you, I hope if you're doing something, you do something that's centric around love and centric around love. And, you know, if you don't want to indulge the commercialism side of it, you don't have to. You can avoid that. You don't have to indulge that. You can just focus on the love side of it. And that's what I'm trying to do. And North Blend, power violence is an extremely fast hardcore punk. Cool. Send me some stuff. Email me some music. romplacone.com. You can email me there. And send me your music. I really love it when folks send me their music. I appreciate it very much. I can accept it digitally very easily. If you want to do hard copy, I do have P.O. Box information on my website. So, yeah, cool. Anyway, let's go to some news. Guys, we have some breaking news that is damn good. I am stoked about this. I am very stoked about this. Lucy's still chilling. This doesn't happen often. She usually wants to bounce. I wonder if she doesn't like the rain. She's being a little clingy, right? As you can see, she's like chilling in my lap. Like I'm not, like she's free to go whenever she wants. But here she is. I wonder if she doesn't like, do you not like the rain? She's probably not used to it at this point because we've lived in California for a couple years. It hardly ever rains here. So she used to get rain all the time because she's lived in Seattle. She's lived in Nashville. She's lived in Pittsburgh. She's lived in Bloomington, Indiana. All those places have rain. Some even more than others. Pittsburgh's one of the rainiest places in the world. So she's definitely used to rain. But maybe she's not used to it anymore. Or she's experienced rain, rather. But maybe she's not used to it anymore. What I meant to say. Either way, you're welcome to stay here, Lucy. Everyone's excited to see you. Especially me. I'm like, oh, she wants to chill? That's awesome. I got my co-host back. She left over contract issues. She's like, not enough treats. I'm out. And I'm like, look, you're only supposed to have one a day. That's what the vet said. It's not a reflection of your talent. The vet said no more than one a day. It's bad for you, but it's good for your teeth. We do one a day. She's like, I want more. I'm like, well, I can't. And she's like, I'm not going. I'm like, all right. I guess maybe she's cool with the contract now. All right, let's talk about news, shall we? Boom! Amazon says it will not build a headquarters in New York after mounting opposition. This is breaking news. This is published 37 minutes ago, updated 1 minute ago. Amazon announced Thursday, that's today, it will not build its headquarters in New York following local opposition. The Washington Post had first reported last week that executives were considering backing out of the plans. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, of course, being on the wrong side of things, which should come as a surprise to nobody, warned that the local and regional leaders would have to answer to voters if Amazon did not ultimately bring its 25 jobs to the state. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I misread that. Hang on. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, I thought he was warning the people that they'd have to answer. Oh, wait, no, I think I got it right. Yeah, he's saying that Amazon should come, I think. The way that's worded, it seems like it could be either way, but I'm sure I'm going to go ahead and assume he's on the wrong side on this one. If he's not, I'll retract it. But he's wrong often enough that whatever. Amazon will not build a headquarters in New York following mounting opposition. Amazon said it does not have plans to reopen the search for a replacement location. The company will continue to build its planned headquarters in Virginia and its other planned location in Nashville. Sucks for Nashville and Virginia. Last week, the Washington Post first reported that Amazon executives were considering backing out of its plans. Wealth polls show that 70% of New Yorkers support our plans and investment. A number of state and local politicians have made it clear they oppose our presence and will not work with us to build the type of relationships that are required to go forward with the project we and many others envisioned in Long Island City. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo had warned at a news conference the following week that the local and regional leaders would have to answer to voters if Amazon did not ultimately bring its 25,000 jobs to the state. You want to diversify your economy? You don't want to just be Wall Street and finance? We need Amazon. Okay, so Andrew Cuomo did have it wrong. Yeah, I was right there. Of course he did. Andrew Cuomo had it wrong. You want to diversify? You want to be more than just Wall Street? We need a billionaire. We need the richest guy on the planet to open up his shit here. That's going to be different. In Andrew Cuomo's mind, that's different. And why are so many officials against it? Because they know what it would really do to the community. What it would do to the community is it would burden people in the community. Because a lot of those jobs wouldn't be good jobs, and then some of them would be. So it would drive rent up. It would rely on the community to pick up the slack, meaning the people that don't get living wages. It would rely on the community to have their back. So it would be toxic to a community, not helpful. Right, Lucy? Am I getting this right? You're not a big Amazon fan. You're like, get my treats directly from the vendor, which I do. Right, Lucy? And they taste better that way. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Local and state leaders have voiced opposition after New York City and state had offered the company performance-based incentives amounting to nearly $3 billion. That's the other thing. They also offer tax incentives and all these other incentives to Amazon that they're not possibly going to recoup. When you factor in the amount of good-paying jobs versus the burden Amazon places on the community versus what Amazon does to the environment, that's another factor there. Amazon has an F rating for the environment, by the way. They have an F rating. So similar to what Walmart does, they actually burden a community. They hurt a community, not help it. Enough people in New York City realize that, and now Amazon's not coming. This is a huge win for Long Island City. A huge win. And a huge win for New York as a whole. Huge win. Huge, believe me. Huge win. Lucy's on board. Look, she's still... This is a Get Your News On With Ron record. She's going to jump down as soon as this is never, like, she's hung out on my lap before for a little bit, but not, man, I'm sorry. I know we got news to get to. I can't help but bask in this a little bit. All right. Somebody gets it here. Council member Inez Barron, here's what they said. I see this as Walmart 2.0, and we're going to continue to fight this because we object to the process that brought us to this point. State Senator Michael Gianaris, another vocal critic of the Amazon deal, who was selected last week to serve on the state board that would have had the final approval on the Amazon deal, said he would not mind to see the company abandon its plans. Asked if he would consider it a victory if Amazon no longer planned to build its headquarters in New York City, he said, under these terms of the deal that's before us, absolutely. Good job. Good job. So here's some of Amazon's letter. We're not going to read the full statement because I really don't give a shit what they have to say. But we are deeply grateful to Governor Cuomo, Mayor de Blasio, and their staffs. Why? Because they serve the corporations and not you. That should tell you something. That Amazon doesn't miss the opportunity to give a tongue bath to de Blasio and Cuomo. Why? Because they know who's going to do them favors. They know who has their back now and who has their back in the future. So and it tells you a lot how people behave locally. So think about that. When you're thinking about some of the local officials who stood up to Amazon, knowing that it could cost them in future elections, knowing that the governor is going to punch down on them, and I'm sure de Blasio will too. Those local city officials that knew that and went against Amazon anyway because they knew it was screwing over their community. If you live in New York City, please remember that next time you go to the polls. Lucy, you can't vote right now. It's not. Come on, Lucy, please stay. She's going towards her vest. She's sniffing her vest. She's totally all right. You can't put it. I need to help you put it on, and I can't do that right now because it would take two. All right, you can sit there. You're fine. This cat, I don't think I could ever have children because this cat has no discipline whatsoever. Like whenever I tell her not to do something, which the things she's not allowed to do are the things my fiance doesn't want her to do. That's it. I don't even know. Like if she was like, "What am I not allowed to do?" I'd be like, "I don't know. We need to ask. When my fiance gets home, we'll ask her." Whatever she doesn't want you to do, those are the things. But this cat, like whenever you like tell her not to do something and you're like, "Hey, get down," she looks at you with just confusion. Like she looks at you like she's just like, "What is this telling me I can't do? This is a foreign concept." Like cats, they get it. They know when they're doing something they're not supposed to. Don't let them convince you otherwise. But this cat, like it's not even that she knows she's just confused. Like, she's like, "Are you trying to impose rules on me? How does that work?" Well, in New York City, it does work because they told Amazon to get packing. Boom! So it's telling you something that Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo, they're getting the tongue baths. Oh, they thank him again. Thank you again, Governor Cuomo, Mayor de Blasio. We know that you have our back and not your people's. We do not intend to reopen the headquarters, too, at this time. Good. Why burden another community? Good, Amazon. This is a win for the city of New York and a loss for Amazon, which is huge. This would not have benefited the community. It would have burdened the community. It would have driven up rent. Even worse so. I mean, yeah, New York City, it's already an issue there. So it already cost $1 or $2 to live there. Amazon would have made it worse. There would have been environmental consequences. There would have been economic consequences, not benefiting people. It would have benefited a handful of rich people. So I'm glad they lost, and I'm glad they're not coming to New York City. And for all you in New York City, please remember this next election time. Remember the city officials that stuck up for you and stuck their neck out against Amazon, knowing it would hurt them, knowing that the governor's going to smear them, knowing that the mayor's going to smear them. Please don't forget those people, because those are some of the good guys. And again, this is a testament to local power. When local people gather together and they form an alliance and they get the city council on their side and they have a movement that can't be ignored, good things can happen. You can stop Chevron like Gail McLaughlin did in Richmond. You can stop Amazon like the folks in New York City did. Got to go local. It's got to happen from the ground up. Good for you, New York, and I can't wait to see you in June. June 17th, by the way, Broadway Comedy Club. Get your tickets now at ronplacone.com. All right, let's move on. Let's do some bad news. We did some good news, so let's go to bad news now. We're gonna go to the other coast, my coast here in California. And so California bill allows homeless college students to sleep in campus parking lots. A bill proposed in the California State Assembly would allow homeless community college students to sleep in their vehicles in campus parking lots. The bill is reportedly aimed at combating California's increasing homeless problem, particularly among college students, as property values and rent prices soar in the state. So this would require California community college systems to open parking lots and garages at night to any enrolled student in good standing. So, wow, this is just a neoliberalism wet dream, isn't it? You know, we're going to show some compassion here. We're going to open up our campus parking lots to the homeless students. Shouldn't we be talking about the fact that we have homeless students in the first place? They can sleep here at night. Shouldn't we do something about the rising cost of college tuition so no one can afford a college education, so you have a situation where people are having to choose between rent and going to school, and they're sacrificing a home so they can get an education? Shouldn't we talk about this? We're letting them sleep in the parking lots at night. Isn't that compassionate? Shouldn't they have a roof over their head in the first place? Yeah, but how nice is it we're letting them sleep in the parking lot? You're missing the bigger picture. Look at how upset Lucy is. She's like, I'm sticking my face in the camera. This is bullshit. Actually, she just yawned. Everyone's a critic. Here, you're getting too close to the computer. I don't want you to knock it. She's actually playing with her yellow vest, if you can believe it. She's playing. For those of you that weren't on the show yesterday, Lucy got a yellow vest. It was mailed by Robin. Thank you again, Robin. And I need to email you a proper thank you in case you're not here on the stream. But Lucy has a yellow vest. She's playing with it. She enjoys it. So, anyway. Let's see if there's anything more to this article. So, here's a quote. Over the last 2 years, I've heard from too many students that they don't have stable housing and often end up sleeping in their cars. Unfortunately, this is all too common throughout California. With 1 in 4... Wow, look at this. 1 in 4 community college students experiences housing insecurity or homelessness. 1 in 4. Take that statistic home with you. 25% of community college students in California homeless. Or have security issues, whatever that means. I mean, that probably means they're on the brink of homelessness, if they're not homeless already. 1 in 4. This is a broken system. Opening the parking lots at night is not going to solve it. I mean, how ridiculous. This is onion level absurdity. Hey, we decided we're going to help out the homeless. We're going to leave the parking lots open for them at night. So you can sleep here. You know, maybe next year, you know, you can just sleep in the parking lot, go take a shower in the morning at the gym facility if we got one, and then go to class. It shouldn't be that way. They should have a roof over their head. We should do something. We should have free college. Instead of passing bills like this, they should pass tuition-free college. That's what they should do. Now, they do say the ultimate goal is to build affordable housing for low-income and homeless college students. But there you go. If you're homeless and you're a college student, you can sleep in a parking lot now. Richest country in the world. That's the best we can do. Brilliant. All right. We're going to go to this now. This is from David. Guggenheim targeted by protesters for accepting money from family with OxyContin ties. Now, so a quick refresher before we dive into this. This concerns Purdue Pharma. We did a story about them. They were one of the most notorious companies for overprescribing, for pushing for overprescriptions, bribing doctors and stuff like that to get OxyContin prescriptions, for upping the prices, for price gouging. They're one of the most notorious players in that in Big Pharma, so much so that they've been getting sued. They're not the only player. There's plenty more, and they're all despicable, but this is they've really taken the cake for the level of awfulness, and we did a story about that. I think it was about maybe a month or so ago. So this is concerning that company. to give you a little refresher. And I guess the Guggenheim in New York City was taking money from them. Okay, so what's going on here? The scraps of paper swirled through the Guggenheim Museum in New York City on Saturday night like confetti, thrown from an upper walkway into the central rotunda before floating to the ground. Designed to look like prescription slips for OxyContin, the powerful opioid painkiller, they were part of the latest protest targeting cultural institutions that accept donations from members of the Sackler family who own Purdue Pharma, the maker of the drug. Education facilities at the Guggenheim, including a theater and an exhibition gallery, are housed inside the 8,200 square foot Sackler Center for Arts Education. And this was a gift from the Sackler family, who own Purdue Pharma. The cloud of white slips created by a group founded by the photographer Nan Golden was a response to a recently disclosed statement by Richard Sackler, the son of a Purdue founder, who said years ago that OxyContin's launch would be followed by a blizzard of prescriptions that will bury the competition. Because that's what they want. They don't want to prescribe the drug to people who need it, who it'll help them. They just want a blizzard of prescriptions that will bury the competition. The prescription blizzard will be so deep, dense, and white, added Mr. Sackler, than a Purdue senior vice president, according to a lawsuit filed by Massachusetts Attorney General's office. So what did the people in New York City do? Well, they granted him his wish, but not in the form that he was hoping for. They did rain prescriptions down on him. They rained the slips down on him. So good for them. And, you know, I've been to a Guggenheim before. They're very, very cool. I've been to the one in Venice. And I hope that they'll consider cutting their ties with this family. I mean, you know, the way I see it, if they cut their ties, you know, that's great. And if they don't, they'll have consequences for it. Some people are going to choose not to go there. And, you know, I applaud that because what Big Pharma does should not be legal. It's not okay. And, you know, it takes something like just openly admitting you're trying to overprescribe, openly admitting, you know, you're abusing the market share you have of the pharmaceutical industry. Openly just admitting that is what it takes to have any kind of consequence whatsoever. We should just outlaw the practice. We should outlaw evergreening. We should have less barriers to entry. And there's some bills out there. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Actually, we're working on a bill together so that the government can enter in and make generic drugs to keep the prices low. There was also that drug bill for drugs from Canada that Bernie Sanders had that Cory Booker helped stop. Why? Because he gets a lot of money from Big Pharma. So good on the people of New York City for sounding the alarm about this issue, because it's an issue we often don't look at. You know, we have such a broken healthcare system. Like, healthcare is just so screwed up in this country that sometimes we forget the cyclical arms of that issue, i.e. Big Pharma. Sometimes we don't think about that as much, and we don't realize it's more than just this for-profit, messed-up insurance company model. That's a big thing. But there's also all these pharmaceutical producers that are doing all these other things that are keeping drug prices high, that are keeping us from getting the prescriptions we need, that are overprescribing for people, and it's all just to pad their pockets. Sometimes we forget about what Big Pharma's really doing because of how screwed up our health insurance industry is, and we know that we need to solve that immediately. So good on the activists for doing this. All right. So, speaking of activists, and speaking of activity, here's some good news. Remember that teacher strike in Denver we talked about a couple days ago? Boom! The teacher strike ends with a deal of raising pay by up to 11%. Denver school administrators and the city's striking teachers reached a tentative deal Thursday, that's today, to end a 3-day educator walkout with a contract agreement that gives teachers raises of 7 to 11%, built-in cost of living increases, and opportunities for future salary hikes. The key sticking point of variable bonuses for teachers working in tougher environments will be studied to determine if they help retain teachers in schools, the teachers union said. The deal was reached after negotiations that went through the night, and it was announced shortly before schools opened Thursday morning. Superintendent Susana Cordova and teacher union president Henry Roman, they hugged after they signed it. Teachers were encouraged to return to their classrooms if they felt ready, even though the deal awaits ratification by the full union membership. More than half the district's teachers went on strike Monday after negotiations over pay broke down. Democrat Governor Jared Polis, whose administration declined to use his power to block the strike, praised the deal, though he said he wished it had been reached before a walkout. And he said the Denver's kids are the biggest winners in today's agreement. Well, the kids might not think so, because that means they have to go back to school, and on a holiday nonetheless, although they probably get candy. Remember Valentine's Day in grade school? You would get that candy, and you would get, like, I remember in my school, they had a rule that said, like, you had to give Valentine's to everybody. Like, you couldn't just give it to, like, your crush or whatever, because then, that's not good. Some kids feel left out, which I think is a good rule. You got to give Valentine's to everybody. There was that episode of The Simpsons where they didn't have that rule, and, Ralph didn't get any Valentines, and so he cried, so Lisa felt bad and gave him one, and then Ralph thought that meant she was into him, so he, like, kind of got, whatever. You can predict the rest. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but I spoiled it for you, but the episode, I think, is over 20 years old, so, you kind of, you kind of missed it. But anyway, Valentine's Day was always a cool day in school because you would take, like, usually the last period of the day, you would kind of take it off, and you would just sort of celebrate Valentine's Day. You would just go around, and you would just drop a Valentine for everyone, and then you would look at them, and you would just... I mean, everyone would say thank you to everyone else. I don't know why that was necessary, because it's like, well, we all got them, like we all just sort of did it. And then we would get candy. They would get those heart-shaped candies. I remember one year, so this is kind of funny. One year... in my school, in Valentine's Day, they have those heart candies that have the messages written on them, they're shaped like a heart, and then there's like a message written across them. So you can get various versions of that candy. You can get like the ones that just say "Happy Valentine's Day," "Be mine," or "Love you," "You're great," whatever. And then you can get the kind of more adult version of those candies. So one of the parents got the adult version and nobody noticed. Or they did it on purpose and they're fucking hilarious. Because I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, I'm kidding. But we all had these candies that said, "Do me." Because that was, you can't fit a lot of writing on these things. So like the adult version just said, "Do me," or "I want you," and we would get those candies. Like they said, "Do me." We were like 10. And we knew what that meant. Like we knew, so we're like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And we all were just giggling. And the teacher's like, "Why are you giggling?" Blah, blah, blah. And we were just like, it says "Do me." And that was funny for like the rest of the day. We just were hyenas. Once you lose control of a group of kids, like you've lost it for the rest of the day. The next day we'll forget. But you lost it for that day. Once you hand out candies that say "Do me" to a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds, you've lost it. I don't know why I'm holding a pen right now, but anyway, I was talking about writing, so I should have a pen. So yeah, we just cracked up the rest of the day. And then we all started saying it to each other because we thought that was funny. It was so goofy. But yeah, they gave us the adult candies. I want to say it was on accident. I'm sure it was. But yeah, one of the parents did that. They bought, man, I wonder if the parent responsible fessed up to it. They were like, "All right, who bought the adult version of the heart candies? Who did it?" There were 3 packages from 3 different parents. 2 of you got it right. 1 of you got the adult version. Who was it? And then I happened to go to the adult novelty store before getting the candies, but that was totally coincidental. Or they were just like, "Dude, I was at the adult bookstore, bought the candies there, didn't know anything bad could happen." Anyway, so That was a ramble. So the teachers had demanded that the school system should rely less on bonuses for educators in high poverty and high priority schools. So high priority schools, high poverty schools, they would get bonuses. They said that's not a good idea. Some people, they'll go there, they don't really want to teach there, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. Teachers on the bargaining team said bonuses alone will not keep their colleagues at high poverty and other priority schools. As we talked about earlier this week, the average turnaround for teachers in those schools was 3 years. 3 years was the average turnaround, according to a lot of the teachers. They say they're having trouble with retaining teachers because the salaries aren't where they need to be. The way teachers are treated is not good. The bonus structure is not healthy for teachers. It's not healthy for a learning environment. It's not good for the students. It's not good for everybody. So they had a strike, and they got some wage increases. All right, so let me see if there's anything here. Now, it doesn't say anything about, or at least I'm not... Okay, so teachers have said reliance on bonuses leads to high turnover, which they say hurts students, and that spending money on smaller class sizes and adding support staff like counselors is the best way to help disadvantaged students. So I guess we'll kind of see the all the details of that, because there wasn't anything. Right now, they're just saying they're getting a wage increase, which is good. I didn't see any particular details about smaller class sizes and more counselors, but hopefully that is all part of it too. Yeah, so far it's just saying that teachers get a raise of 7 to 11%, built-in cost of living increases, and opportunities for future salary hikes. So we'll see what happens. You know, pretty much all the teacher strike, in fact, all of the teacher strikes have included other things related to the classrooms, not just their pay. They were striking because they wanted staff to get a pay increase too. They were striking because they wanted better resources in the classroom. They were striking for better libraries. They were striking for more counselors. They were striking for smaller class sizes. That's the big one. And in Denver, this was the case too. They wanted more counselors, smaller class sizes. Hopefully that is all in the agreement as well. But the good news is they got a wage increase. The union agreed that this was a fair deal. So hopefully it does include more stuff as well. And, you know, if the teachers are satisfied, okay, this is definitely a win. And once again, this is that lesson. Strikes, they're contagious, and they're effective. Oklahoma, strike worked. California, the strike worked. Colorado, strike worked. Illinois, the strike worked. So, strike now and strike often. And good for you, Denver and Colorado. Congrats. Shout out to all the teachers who stood in solidarity. And speaking of which, here's a little call to action before I'm going to go to you guys. We've been talking a lot about Tim Canova and what happened to him over the course of the past 3 and change years. In 2016, Tim Canova ran against Debbie Wasserman Schultz in Broward County in Florida. He almost won. And a lot of the ballots were illegally destroyed by a friend of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who used to be in charge of the elections there. She had to step down. Brenda Snipes. And Broward County is notorious. In 2000, they were the county that kind of screwed things up, having it go to Bush. They were the county that was not counted properly. And they've been notorious in Tim Canova's race. And in this most recent race, there was some shady transporting of ballots. There's video footage of random people in vans just transporting the voting ballots. And Tim Canova, according to the results this past election in 2018, got about 5% of the vote. And he got the same percentage in every age demographic. Now, Ron, is that likely? Well, according to statistics that are out there, that is about as likely as winning the lottery every day for a year. Just having this election and having the results where you get this certain percentage, and then the percentage is also the same across every single demographic, exactly the same. That has the same probability as the probability of winning the lottery every day for a year. How likely is that? I've never won the lottery. Not even like a dollar scratch-off thing. Wait, no, I won... You know the only thing I've ever won, like those scratch-off things? I've won like more scratch-offs. You know, like that's like the shittiest prize you can get, where like you get those scratch-offs. Those things annoy me because you get the like shit all over you. And then usually you win either nothing or something you'd rather not have. Like oh, I won another ticket. So I get another opportunity to get this varnish shit all over me. It's not actual varnish, but you know what I mean. It's like the weird, you like rub it with a penny and then you just feel gross and you have like shit all over you. Even as a kid, I hated that. I'm like, I don't want to fucking, They would always give them to you to rub off because like you're a kid and you like to like, ooh, scratch. And I still hated getting all that shit all over me. But anyway, all I've ever won was like, so here's something you can do. The Change.org petition has officially been launched. Investigate the November 2018 election in Florida's 23rd Congressional District. Without election integrity, we do not have a democracy. We, the undersigned, demand immediate action by the House Administration Committee to investigate the November 6, 2018 election in Florida's 23rd Congressional District. The official election results certified that Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the incumbent Democrat, is the winner. The election has been challenged in the House by Tim Canova, a law professor who ran as an independent. There is significant evidence casting significant doubt on these election results, including the following. Broward County election officials failed to maintain proper chain of custody of the paper ballots cast in the 2018 election. Florida election officials failed to maintain any proper chain of custody of the electronic voting machines. Broward County election officials failed to maintain digital scanned images of the ballots as directed by the Florida Secretary of State. The electronic scanning machines all had wireless digital scanned images and were thereby vulnerable to outside hackers. No one is permitted to inspect the software that was actually used in the election, since the source code is considered proprietary, meaning when you actually ask for results, you're not given them. Moreover, the official 2018 election results, as reported by Brenda Snipes, then the Broward County Supervisor of Elections, were highly suspect. And keep in mind what's happened since all this. Brenda Snipes has had to resign. All right, but let's go on and read the rest of this. For nearly 98,000 votes recorded for Wasserman Schultz, there was no indication of where, when, and how they were cast. A month after the election was certified, an unverifiable Excel document was finally provided. Florida Elections Rule 1S 2.053, which allows this hiding of votes and the obstacles of obtaining public records requests, are the opposite of transparency. So this is what we just talked about. Canova's share of the official vote was 5% in every demographic group, a result so implausible that one highly credentialed expert in statistics and computational science concluded that it was as likely as winning the lottery every day for a year. 2018 was not the first suspicious election in Florida's 23rd Congressional District. In 2016, Wasserman Schultz survived a hotly contested Democratic primary challenge from Professor Canova, who later sought to inspect the paper ballots cast in the primary. When the Broward County Supervisor of Elections stonewalled his request, he filed a lawsuit. But while that lawsuit was pending, Snipes destroyed all the paper ballots. Article 1, Section 5 of the U.S. Constitution authorizes each House of Congress to be the final judge of the qualifications and election of its members. Canova filed his election contest with the clerk of the House and the House Administration Committee in December 2018. In early January 2019, the House of Representatives seated Wasserman Schultz without considering Canova's complaint, thereby rendering moot Canova's legal challenge in the Florida courts. We demand that the House Administration Committee investigate the 2018 election in Florida's 23rd Congressional District. We demand election justice and election integrity. We demand the rule of law and transparency in our elections. I am on Twitter at Ron Placone. If you go to my Twitter timeline, you will see this petition tweeted out. So please do check it out. Let me go to you guys. We'll just kind of take questions, talk about what you want to talk about for the last few minutes. As I take a sip of coffee. Jedi Mullet, thank you very much for your super chat contribution. And Jedi Mullet says, DWS, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, rigs the lottery. Probably so. Ron, New Mexico. Tim, I am working on it. Don't have New Mexico booked yet, but I am working on it. And yeah, I am definitely working on that. Paul, thank you very much for the Super Chat contribution. Paul says, cheers, Ron. Cheers back at you, Paul. Thank you very much. Herman says we need a new party. I agree. Slow News Day says we don't have free and fair elections in this country. Sending people into a corrupt system to fix it isn't working. Reinventing the wheel isn't working. We need to break the fucking wheel. Kind of like what they're saying in Game of Thrones. Chris, Ron, I'll be sending you the article for when Indiana teachers go on strike. Our idiot lawmakers denied everything the teachers union demanded. Well, hey, they should go on strike. They should go on strike because it's been working. It's been working. Hopefully Indiana's going to be next. I hope Indiana's going to be next. And I look forward to covering it here. And Chris, thanks for that. I'll count on you for a heads up. Emma, do you like Elizabeth Warren? There are a lot worse than her, sure, but I'm not a big fan, no. I'm hoping she's not the nominee, mostly because I don't think she would win. She's proposed some legislation I've liked, like the drug bill that I mentioned earlier in the show. The drug bill that her and Bernie are working on, that's actually a really good bill that would really drive a stake in the heart of Big Pharma. It's everything I've seen from it thus far. It's a really good bill, and Elizabeth Warren's writing that with Bernie Sanders. So I do like that, but some of the other stuff she's done, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of her support for Hillary Clinton. I'm not a big fan of her, yelling at Wells Fargo and sounding really great when the cameras are on, but then doing nothing behind closed doors. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. There are worse, but I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I would say, if I had to rank them, I would say she's better than Booker or Biden, or she's better than Harris. But I prefer Gabbard. I prefer Sanders. And I'm still hoping for that ticket. Still hoping for a Tulsi Bernie ticket. Yeah. Andrew says Game of Thrones is awesome. I do agree with you there. I do enjoy it. What do I think of the media suppressing Tulsi's campaign? I think that they're doing it now because it would be harder to get her off of a debate stage later. I think that Tulsi is an actual outsider candidate. She has spoken out against the military-industrial complex. Just the fact that she says military-industrial complex is different and out of the box. So I think they're trying to suppress her now because it would be easier to do it now than get her off a debate stage later. Because they know she's building a very big swelling. That was man, what a terrible choice of phrase there. Groundswell swelling. This is why I don't run for office. I would say something like that. I'd be like, guys, we're building a groundswell swelling. And they're like, what the fuck was that? Was that his Howard Dean moment? What? No one even knows what that is. She's building a big thing grassroots. That's very true. She's connecting with people on all sides of the aisle politically. She's connecting with people on the left. She's even connecting with people on the right because she's an outsider. And the establishment doesn't like that. The corporate media doesn't like her. So they're trying to, it's like any social movement. First, they're going to trivialize her. Then they're going to smear her. And they're hoping that that's enough to kind of get her out of the running. So That's what I think. So Melissa says Bernie Tulsi 2020. I'm with you. I think that's our best option right now. Indiana DSA showed up to Purdue University when Howard Schultz came to speak. He did not like that. Good for them. Good for them. That's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. Dude who destroys the ballots, lock him in the public stockade. Well, there wasn't really many consequences. I mean, Brenda Snipes stepped down, but that's about it. That's all you're going to do. Sagittary points out Tulsi's polling better than Schultz, yet CNN gave him a town hall. Yeah. Balthazar, I'm still hoping for Ron Streamlabs 2019. It's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new year. I got to look into it. I know. I got to do that. Guys, we are out of time. Thank you so much for being part of this. This has been Get Your News On with Ron. Thank you for another great week. Happy Valentine's Day. You know, remember, it's about love, not about commercialism. Love, not commercialism. One is beautiful, and the only thing I believe in. The other, I could do without. I'm on the road. Tour dates, ronplacone.com for tickets. March, going to be in Lafayette, Louisiana, Pensacola, Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana, Oxford, Mississippi. Grab your tickets now at ronplacone.com. Going to be in Texas in April, Salt Lake City, Boise in May. East Coast in June. We are in the process of confirming Boston, and we still got a few holes in the East Coast. Where do you want to see us on the East Coast? We still have a few more shows we're going to book in the East Coast, but we're almost done booking that tour, so please let me know where you want to see us. Let's see. Aaron, thank you very much for the Super Chat contribution. Aaron says, Sanders Tulsi is ideal. Bernie is making us all nervous. Announce already. Hey, maybe he plans on running with Tulsi. Maybe he plans on being Tulsi's VP. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. Oh, and Chris, thank you for the reminder. May 1st, Indianapolis, Indiana. I will see you guys in Indianapolis, Indiana. Susan, you want to see us in Providence? I might be able to make that happen. We still got 2 more shows in the East Coast we're trying to book. So, yeah. Guys, you're awesome. Thanks so much for being part of this. If you want to support this show on the sustainability end, please do consider becoming a patron. Patreon.com/ronplacone. Give what you can level. You get all kinds of exclusive content. You get my album, and you help keep this show on the air. Alex, I will see you in India as well. I'm stoked for it. You guys are amazing. Thank you for another great week. We'll be back on Monday for Music Monday. Same time, same channel, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube. See you guys then. Peace.